The scripture that I'm going to read tonight, Brother Price, if you can help me with Matthew. Matthew 14, starting at verse 22. And straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into a ship and to go before him onto the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. And in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went unto them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit. And they cried out for fear. But straightway, I love that word, straightway, that means immediately, Jesus spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. And Peter said unto him, and Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me to come unto thee on the water. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. But when he saw the wind was boisterous, he was afraid and was beginning to sink. He cried, saying, Lord, save me. And immediately, straightway, Jesus stretched forth his hand and caught him and said unto him, O thou of little faith, wherefore didst thou doubt? Meaning, why did you doubt? Now, we all have probably known some people in our lives, not these great men like Lee Stone King and Brother Chester Mitchell and all these different men that we see that have faith. But we have seen people around us, people that we go to church with, people that we are fellowshipping with that has this great faith. Consider this. If we had been sitting in that boat with Peter, we would have thought that he was full of great faith because the Lord told him to come, and Peter went. So as he began to climb out on the water, we're thinking, oh, he's got this. This is awesome. Look at him. He's got this faith. I wish I had that faith. I wish I could be like Peter. But then something happened, and Peter began to sink. We probably found ourselves thinking, now, wait a minute. What's the problem? What's going on? What's wrong with him? The God of the universe just told you to come walk on the water. I'm here for you. He just told you to come. So why did you get out in the middle of the boat and then start sinking? What's the problem? But something distracted him. Something caused his courage to waver, caused his faith to become small. We all have faith. Sometimes it says in the Bible, it just takes a grain of, a mustard seed of faith. But sometimes to us, a mustard seed seems too much. We don't even have enough faith. Sometimes even pray for ourselves. Sometimes to even think about praying. Sometimes we get in the situation, Lord, I don't even know what to pray. So something distracted him. Something happened that caused him to forget what God had just done previously that day. Not before, not many months ago, not even weeks ago, but that day. Because if you read above that, they had just fed 5,000 plus people with 2 loaves and some fish. So how could you forget that soon? How could you forget that soon that the God of the universe said, come on, I got you. Believe in me. But he forgot. He got distracted. Something happened. We don't know what happened. It doesn't say in the Bible what happened. But you know what? It doesn't even really matter. Because the true measure of a person's faith is not just the first step of the journey, but it's the steps after. We all can make that first step. You're like, come on. So we go. That first step, we got it. And then we're like, wait a minute. You want me to do what, Jesus? Lord, you said what? What, Lord? I got, oh, no, wait a minute. Well, see, what had happened, Lord, no, I can't do that. And we forget that the God of the universe, the God of our soul, the God that created us, has more faith in us than we have in ourselves. So then when he says step out, when he says move, we have to move. We may not understand, we may not know, we may not can't grasp what he's telling us to do, but if we have faith, if we just trust, just like Peter, he had no problem making that first step of faith. But something happened that was not a part of his plan. See, that was the problem. He had a plan. But see, God also had a plan. And something got him distracted that was not a part of his plan. And he got off track. It says up here that Jesus came to them in the fourth watch of the night. Well, I kind of looked that up because I'm wondering, what is the fourth? Was that dark? Because I'm thinking in my time, quarter here, quarter there. So the fourth would be like really late. But no, the Jews at that time divided the night into 4 watches. The first watch was from 6 o'clock in the evening until 9 in the evening. The second watch was from 9 to 12. And the third was from 12 to 3. And the fourth was from 3 to 6. So that means it was probably daylight, beginning to become daylight. And yet, even when he saw the Father, he still wavered in his faith. God was there. It wasn't like it was dark. It wasn't like that things were just everywhere. It wasn't like he couldn't see God. It says in the fourth watch, God was there. He could see him. But yet, he wavered. We deal with this each time we get excited about something. Starting a project. I know I love to start projects. I love to get stuff going. And then it gets too hard. It gets too mundane. It gets too, I got to add that to it. I got to do this to it. I'm like, that's too much. So then guess what we do? We stop. We get halfway through the process. We say it's too difficult. It's more than I thought. It's more than I anticipated. So I'm going to stop. But the same thing happens when we believe Jesus would have us to do something. God has called us. He has made a promise to us. So we start doing it, and it doesn't turn out like we thought it should. Our ministry that he has blessed us with, he has confirmed his word. It's not growing like we thought it should. So we begin to sink. Our faith grows weak. We lose faith. In Job 1:1, Brother Price, Job 1:1, God called Job perfect, upright, and he kept away from evil. So I don't believe the word there, perfect, means that he was without sin or that he didn't make mistakes. I believe that it means that he put his trust wholeheartedly in God. He lived faithfully. He was God-honoring. He had a sincere life of integrity and consistency. Job was favored of God. God loved Job so much that he invited the devil to go mess with him. God had so much faith in Job that he said, go ahead, try Job, try my servant. He's not going to mess up. Sometimes we go through trials and tribulations because God's going, go ahead, try Sister Wilson. She's not going to mess up. Try Sister Hicks. Nah, she's not going to mess up. We may stumble, like you said. We may fall, but we're not going to lay down. We are human. We make mistakes. We do things that we shouldn't do. But we have a God that lives within us, a God that is a God of the universe that said, come on, I got faith in you. I believe in you. I'm putting you through this. How can you have a testimony if you don't? How can you testify if you don't have a testimony? How can you tell of the goodness of Jesus if you don't have a testimony? If we never went through trials and tribulations, we wouldn't be able to go out and witness to this world. God called Job perfect. Job was favored of the Lord, and he still went through so much. He lost everything. But because everything is going bad in your life, that does not mean that you are not favored of God. That just lets me know that God has better plans for me. That just lets me know that God is up there going, go ahead, try Sister Wilson. Go ahead. I got you. You can do this. Yes, because I'm letting you go through this so that you can testify and tell someone else. I'm letting you go through this so you can go and be a blessing to someone else. I tell people all the time, when I go through trials, I need to learn something. I am learning something. Don't make me go through this, Jesus, and nothing happens. Nothing is changed in my life. I want to be changed. I want to be transformed. I want somebody else to see the God in me. He keeps his promises. And we will be tested because, like I said, how can we testify without a testimony? We may get tired, weary, but don't give up. We may get down, but don't give out. And if you get impatient and try to do things on your own, that's when we mess up. When we try to do things on our own, we try to fix things. We got, oh, God, I can help. He don't need your help. If he needed your help, he would say, can you do this? He doesn't need our help. What he needs is for us to trust him. He needs us to trust him in everything we do. He will work for us while we wait. I love that song tonight. That was in my notes. He will work for us while we wait. Sometimes we tend to lose sight of Jesus. Even though we've seen the miracles of healing, we've seen provision, we've seen deliverance, we've seen him do all kinds of miracles. Not just previously, but right now. Today. This day. This very day. I went to MOPS this morning. It's called Mothers of Preschoolers. I am a mentor mom for a group of ladies there. And I was going this morning, and I'm going to be honest and be a little bit transparent right now. I've been a little bit discouraged this week. Just some things that I've been asking the Lord to do for a long. We're going through this transition. We're going through this situation right now. And I was a little bit discouraged. And I got in my car, and went to MOPS, and I really didn't want to go, but I know I need to be there for those ladies. I am, like I said, a mentor mom, so they look to me. They look up to me. And so I go, and I get to the parking lot, and I just sit in my car. And I'm like, Lord. And I just begin to pray, and I said, Lord, I know recently it feels like I'm just asking you and asking you and asking you for things. And I said, God, I know that I probably have not been praying the way that I should be praying. Because sometimes when you get in a situation, you don't even know how to pray. You get in those places where it's like, God, I know you're there. I know you're a deliverer. I don't know what else to pray. I don't know what else to say. So I told God, I said, God, if you would do, and I asked him a certain thing, if you would do that today, I didn't say, I will serve you or I will do better. I just said, I would really appreciate it. And that's how I said it. And I ended the prayer with praise and thanksgiving. And I just told him I would just appreciate it if he did that today. Well, I get home, and I'm working on trying to finish up what I'm going to speak on about tonight. And I just started typing and trying to finish my thought and getting my thoughts in captivity. And Brother Wilson came, Carl came, and we were talking for a little bit. And we talked about the situation that I prayed about, but I didn't tell him that I prayed. He just mentioned that situation to me. And so as he was walking past me to go back to his office, I didn't even hear the phone ring. I heard him say, "Good afternoon, this is Carl." And then I heard him say something, and the situation that I prayed for, that very morning, God answered. Today. He answered that situation today. So I know that he is a God that hears the small thing. He is a God. No, sometimes he doesn't answer all the time right away. Because, Pastor Scott, I've been praying for this situation for a long time. For a long time. It feels like years to me. It's not been years, but it feels like years. Sometimes it just feels like years. But he answered today, straightway. I asked him this morning, and he answered straightway. So I know that he is a God that hears. I know that he is a God that cares about us. We must realize that Jesus has called us to make a first step. That step in faith. Then he will provide and continue to provide a path for each step toward him after that. But we have to make the step. Even when we make the step and we like, God, I don't think I can do it. And he's going behind us going. He's going behind us. He's on the side of us. He's in front of us. He's over us. And he's saying, go ahead. I know you can. I got faith in you. I know you can do this. He's gonna guide us. He's going to lead us. He's going to let us make that step. And all we got to do is just put that next foot next. And then okay, I'm struggling, God. I'm struggling. I don't know. And then he goes, come on. And then you just do it again. And you keep going until you get to where you have so much faith. And he increased my faith today with that prayer, with that answer to prayer. He will do that to where you will have so much faith. The next thing you know, you are over. You're climbing up that mountain. And then the next thing you know, you're right there on top. You're right there on top, and then you look around and you realize, oh, God, you did this. Oh, God, you did this. In spite of me, God, in spite of my situation, in spite of what I'm going through, you did this. And just like he caught Peter, he will catch you because he caught me today, and I thank him for it. Where is Jesus calling you to walk in faith? Where is he calling you to walk in faith?